Hey, folks, we're here live. I understand that we're going to wait a few minutes for people to get on. We are using a new program, so let's see how it works. There were some issues with yesterday, so we have to redo our live stream. So we'll wait for a little bit, let some people get online, and we'll make sure that we see how this thing runs. If you all have any questions, feel free to ask. Leave comments. I would love to see if that new program works with comments. I'll keep it up on my phone as well to ensure that if this program doesn't really work well, I'm still able to see everyone's comments. So let me pull that up here real quick. But as you all know, our live stream from yesterday, for unknown reasons, Facebook has not gotten back to me. They took down our video. Haven't gotten a notification why. Hopefully we know. For those who haven't seen the video yesterday, this is my firstborn, Timothy.
Hi.
You can say hi. We are using a new program, so hopefully it works well. I don't see any comments yet, so let me make sure that it is working. Yep, there is some comments. Alright, it's a little delayed, so bear with me as you guys watch. If I am more delayed than I was in the previous videos with responding to your comments, by all means be patient. But one of the cool things with this new program is I could take your comments and pop them up right here on the video. So it's actually pretty cool. That way, if you guys have a question, and those of you who are reading it as well, who may have missed it, I can pop it up there so y'all can see it, and it's great. Some of the things I want to talk about is just what was missed yesterday. Obviously, our Facebook live stream was deleted by Facebook for unknown reasons. We have our theories, but who knows? This was not a scheduled live stream. This is our way of answering any questions. Let's talk about what we talked about yesterday and see how this program works. So if you guys see anything, let me know. If there's any glitches, if I'm talking but there's nothing going on with my voice and the lips is not syncing, let me know. I want to make sure this experience is really well for each and every single one of you, so that way we have a way to communicate. One of the cool things is with this program is that I can now put alerts down there. If anyone doesn't know, you have till the 27th to get your absentee ballot postmarked, so that way your vote counts. Weird, but I hope the takedown isn't for... Yeah, Aaron, I don't know why they took it down. I know I am a Marine, and I do cuss a little bit. However, I do pride myself on keeping my tack up to par during these videos. I'm not too sure if it was a comment that was made. I'm not too sure what was going on, or if I was reported. We'll see. If I'm reported, they can report me again, because we are not doing anything wrong. Some of the things we talked about yesterday, and we'll go over our notes as well, is number one, I always started off like this. If you know anyone who is ill or subject to receive this virus, let us know. We will be more than happy to go grocery shopping for them. We'll take precautions. We'll wear masks. We'll wear gloves. There does not have to be any type of contact whatsoever. We'll drop the food on the porch, balcony, whatever is accessible for you. We'll even spray it down with some Lysol. We do have a few cans here, so that way you are not exposing yourself or risking exposing yourself to this disease. Obviously, your safety is the utmost importance. Yeah, there is a huge gap or time delay. It doesn't seem I get all the comments that's popping up on my screen is less than what I'm seeing on my Facebook. So if you see me looking down a lot, it's to make sure I am up to par or up to date with your comments. Hi, Joanna, Michael, Alan, David, Timothy, Mindy. My wife's watching. Hi. Okay, that's great. Some of the things we talked about is our education. That was my main point I wanted to drive home in the last video. Our education is extremely important. Now, I understand this pandemic hit us like a brick wall, and we were definitely not expecting this. So there was a lot of learning curves that were happening. We're definitely taking note on it. When this finally dies down, if it happens again, and I hope to God it doesn't, we will be more prepared for the educational purposes. I know, for example, today was my son's first video chat with his teacher. That was great. It's a good way for the teacher to stay in contact with their students, to make sure that if they have any questions on their homework, they kind of still get FaceTime with them, so that way they progress appropriately. Which leads me to, I forgot, we told him that he has to repeat his entire school year. That was a joke. Okay, so it's been a day and a half. I completely forgot to tell him. So it's always good. We will be more prepared if this happens again, and we are definitely learning from our mistakes. I think that's what makes our nation so great. We don't claim to be perfect, but we strive for perfection, and we always learn from our mistakes. Some of us do. So with the education, one of the things that I want to do when I actually get elected to Congress is to, number one, get the government's hands out. In '77, when the Department of Education was formed, we were the top 5 in literacy. But once the Department of Education was formed, we went down to the 27th. You can Google it; it's right there. We are the 27th. So we started the program. It wasn't working well, but we kept with it. I would prefer it to go back to the states, because we know how to educate our children, and that's just another way the government is taking more power from the people, and it's not right. Hi, Terry. Hi, Mindy. Hey, Keith. Mary Jo. Matthew, nice to meet you. Just to reiterate, new program. If you see any issues, let us know. This is great. This actually is a free program. As you all know, Marines, we are used to doing more with less. This is free, and this is an outstanding way. I could take your comments, and let's see here. So, for example, Mindy, I told my friends, kids, that instead of me reading it, all I can do is sit right here and I can show you that comment. So it works well, and it's great. I definitely want to make sure that when I am talking about a subject to each and every single one of you, I can take the highlights from whatever news article it is, and I can pop it on the screen. This wasn't going to be ready till tomorrow, but we started earlier because we have to reiterate everything that we said yesterday. We talked about the education. I think one of the questions was yesterday as well. And again, I don't have the questions because, my post was deleted by Facebook. They asked about my stance on the Second Amendment. One comment, I believe, was from Tom. I forget his last name. He asked about, should I be allowed to own an AK-47? My reply was, why shouldn't I? A lot of people ask candidates questions. I want them to explain to me, why shouldn't I? Why should I or why shouldn't I? I would like to hear your voice. Do I? Yes. Second Amendment is our Second Amendment. It's in our Constitution for a reason. All right? It shall not be infringed whatsoever. If I want to go buy a weapon, I should be allowed to go buy a weapon. So I am all for the Second Amendment. I am endorsed by the Buckeye Firearms. I was not endorsed by the NRA, as I have never held a elected seat. In order for the NRA, per their bylaws, in order for you to receive an official endorsement, you had to have pushed legislation. As I have not held a position, obviously I could not push legislation. Despite me being a United States Marine, I figured that would trump it. However, I did receive the highest grade of all the candidates of an AQ. You can't get higher than that. So I am all for the Second Amendment. No restrictions whatsoever. Simplify, Rob. Yes, we must overcome and adapt. Some of the questions I have is right here. Let's pop it up on the screen. Do you think the government needs to have better accountability for emergency reserve numbers? Yes. Someone else was bringing this up to my attention, and I thought it was a great idea. I think it might have been you, Keith, where, obviously we keep a surplus in case something like this happens, and most of them do have expiration dates, and I think they should cycle those through. As things are made, instead of being created for the manufacturer, being sent to the hospitals, it should be sent to the surplus, and then the ones that can be used, so that way, no matter what happens, we don't have any expired product in our surplus. We're going to go down the list now, Tim. No, you're fine, man. I appreciate you looking at these things. David, you're waiting for your absentee ballot. That's great. Mindy, you asked how long ago we mailed the application. If you gave us your address, we went around last weekend and dropped off applications. If you didn't receive it, I'll drop it off again. If I missed your address, I'll take the hit on that, so I apologize. Johanna, yes, that was one of the questions. What did Acton mean yesterday when she said we will never return to normal life? I really wish I knew what she meant by that. I understand that we're always growing as a society. We're always learning from our faults and always improving. In that aspect, yes, because we are learning from our mistakes. You can't say everything was done right. You can't say anything will always be done right. As long as we act fast and we see something that's not going the way we wanted it to, we jump on it like a heartbeat. If she's talking about we will never return to normal life because she believes that these restrictions are going to stay in place, I'm not for that. Hold on, let me remove this question here. You got to remember to take them down. We'll pop your question up. If Acton believes that we are going to have these restrictions nonstop, then she's in for a rude awakening, because I won't tolerate it, and now each and every single one of you and your families and friends won't tolerate these restrictions. I don't like them any more than anyone else does. I am getting kind of, frustrated as well, but I understand the reason by it, and I can deal with it for a certain amount of time. However, at what point do we say we need to carry out our lives? We have mom and pop shops that are going to be closed down. Now, yes, we have these loans and these grants that are willing to help out the people and help out these businesses stay in business. And I was catching it real quick. I was a little distracted by my 3-year-old because I was playing with them. But I did hear Trump saying that if these mom and pop shops can stay open, pay their employees with a payroll loan, which will end up turning into a grant, so they're going to pay back, so everything will be fine. That's great. We should look into that. Let's see here. I have it, not this. Oh, for the turnaround time, Mindy, I do know someone did just get a hold of me, and they said it took them 2 weeks to get it. So obviously, don't mail out your absentee ballot request form on the 15th, because you may not get it until after the 27th. So request those things now and get them now. That gives the Board of Elections time to mail it to you. Now, if you feel comfortable, you can go to the Board of Elections and pick them up. I do know they have them at the lobby. If you wanted one, I do know Mahoney County, the security guard will walk one out for you, and they'll hand it to you, and then you can do your request form that way. I do know that they'll even bring it back in for you, I believe. Okay. Thank you for sharing those links, Donald. I appreciate it. Keith said, you think rules need to be passed so FEMA must submit a yearly account for all reserves, assets to Congress, or make it part of the state? You know what? I think keeping track of our pretty much doing inventory is a good idea. We shouldn't just toss items in there, lock the door, and forget all about it. Because obviously things do expire. We should definitely take into account. It'll keep us on track on what expires when, how much comes in, accountability. And that's what I've always been about since day one. Let me see if I missed any more. Okay. Yeah, again, there is a delay in... I'm trying to see what the delay is right now, because I'm actually looking at the Facebook live stream, and I see myself talking, but I want to say it's about a 30-second delay, so bear with me. I did watch the clip. Yes, Jeff. Let's see here. Watching. Hey, Terry. Hey, Lala. Okay, it's missing a few questions. It's jumping questions and only submitting a few on this new program. So if I do miss your question, please don't threat. I will look on it. To ensure that we don't lose our video again, we're also live streaming this not only on my personal page, but my YouTube page, which I just created today. So that way, if Facebook deletes it, we still have a copy, and we can just spam Facebook until they give up and stop deleting my videos. Natalie, you wish they could fill out absentee ballot forms online? We have enough tech-savvy individuals in our nation, they can make that a possibility and also ensure that there is no fraud going on. Michael, you had a question. Do you feel now that more reports have come out that China is still lying? Yeah, see, I don't, any information I receive that says this is us compared to China, I mean, really, how can we really trust China? I understand it's good to have, you can wave all you want. Yeah, I understand it's good to keep appropriate and proper relations with our other nations, regardless if they're hostile or not. Obviously, depending on how ridiculous they are, shows how much attention they're going to get and what type of attention they're going to get. However, China has lied to us since the dawn of time. I mean, they poisoned our dog food. They were putting lead in paint. They were putting lead in our children's face paint. They were poisoning baby formula. And now this. At what point do we say, all right, China, we got to hold you accountable. We're done. I understand the world economy is important, but it's not as important as our nation's economy. One of the things we talked about yesterday was our manufacturing. We have to bring it back, especially our pharmaceuticals. That has to come back here. And we're also getting all of our PPE from China. The majority of it's from there. We don't have the facilities here to create the PPE. Now, I understand businesses are altering what they're doing to create proper PPE for our nurses, our doctors, those who are still essential businesses and have to function on a day-to-day basis. But that shows us that we don't have the capabilities here, and that's ridiculous. I understand if we have a business, and I'm just going to throw numbers out there, that we should have a business that creates, again, these are just off-the-wall numbers, a business that creates 10 masks a day. But yet we get 80 a day from China. Well, I want to make sure that business that makes 10 a day here has the capabilities of making all 90. So that way, if what happens is happening, we can say, hey, you know, instead of the 10, you're making the 90. And what that will do is that will bring more people into that business, ensuring they have the jobs that keeps the economy going and the income here in the States. Yeah, they did. I forget what year it was, Natalie. But they did put a lot of poison in our dog food. And yes, they did open up those markets again, which is ridiculous. They're still, I'm flabbergasted. Keith, one of the questions, what exactly do you think Congress can do to bring these industries back here? Number one is get off their butts. Plain and simple. They need to get off their chair, stop looking for themselves, and fight for the people. Give these corporations and these manufacturing companies reasons to come back to the States. I'm okay with the tariffs. You know, if you want to take your business and go to a different country, I mean, that's your business, but we're going to tax the heck out of you. You got to keep your business here because I prefer American made. I mean, my wife were talking about this the other day. I'd rather pay $1 extra if it's American made because you know it's American made and it's high quality. We definitely care about our product. I'm 39, but look at the toys that I had. For example, the toys I had when I was growing up. Those things are still intact to this day. I'll buy something for my son. 2 minutes later, it's broken in pieces. All because we wanted to save a couple bucks. Yes, Steve, it is American. We can do it. Yeah, I agree, Natalie. I mean, I don't. I understand the relations with other nations is great, but I can't trust them right now. They have not proven themselves in any way how they can be trusted. What's that?
We can't trust countries that like be mean to us. We need proof that they're telling the truth to us.
And that's coming from an 11-year-old, right there. An 11-year-old can figure it out. Why can't our guys in the government figure that out? I mean, it's probably because he's listening to me, but still, he's listening to me. One of the things we can do is I definitely want to show you all. I would like to do is I have a quote. It's from a great man. Actually, the guy who actually got me interested in history. I remember it from high school. Samuel Adams. And no, he's not just a beer. He's actually one of our founding fathers. This right here. If Ever a time should come when vain and aspiring men and women should be altered, shall possess the highest seats in government, our country will stand in need of its experienced patriots to prevent its ruin. This quote right here, right there, is the number one reason why you see an influx in veterans running for office. There are more running for office this term than there have been in the last decade. The reason being is these veterans, we are tired of our government walking over us. We are tired of our government doing whatever they want to do and arguing over each other's cupcake and who stole whose idea. It's ridiculous. Start fighting for the people. That's why you were elected to office. Just pull this up here. It's a little question. Try to get an American company to even give you an estimate on a project. I can tell you in your experience, we were trying to get one piece of hardware. We needed several pieces. Yeah, see? It's everywhere. The businesses want to be here. We have aspiring. I'm going to get rid of it because it's covering my ugly mug. I'm sure you guys probably want me to cover it. But one of the biggest things that we have to do is bring back the manufacturing company. We have the pride. Also with that, what you were talking about, Terry, is we need to stop this whole corporate bailout, this corporate welfare. It's ridiculous. I understand it's important. It does help the economy by these businesses staying intact. But what helps these businesses staying intact even longer is having these smaller businesses able to grow. It's like if you have a lawn or you have a garden, the weeds are going to overfest and your flowers or whatever you have in there are not going to grow because your weeds are infesting the entire thing. You need to tear out those weeds. You need to let those weeds die and make room for the actual what you wanted to grow. So if these corporations do fall, it's going to be a hit. But we have so many businesses out there, smaller ones, mom and pops, that want to take that next step on that ladder, but they can't because they're being knocked down by these corporations. It's like a forest. Michael Grisby used this as a analogy. I think it's great. An old tree in a forest falls, that's fine. It may fall, it may hurt or damage another tree, but that tree will grow back stronger and more will grow in its place. We're Americans. We always come back from everything. Look at the Great Depression. Look at the stock market crash. I can go on and on. We come back stronger. This is going to be a huge hit. What happened here with our coronavirus? Our economy is not devastated, but it's getting hurt. And the longer we stay in these restrictions, it will become devastating. But we are Americans. We will strive. We'll fight back. The longer we're in this, the longer it's going to be harder. But as long as we work, each and every single one of us, help each other out, then we will come back. We are Americans. We will. There are some people who are getting all bleak and think it's a new world order or whatever the case is. But we will come back stronger than ever. Yeah, I agree. No, that's small businesses are the lifeblood of our economy. If you drive down Mahoning Avenue, right into downtown Youngstown, they have the flags on, obviously the light poles. They consider themselves an entrepreneurship city, and that's great. I met a lot of kids and young individuals there that are striving to create something. They want that American dream. It's still there. The American dream is still alive. I don't even think it's kindling right now. Right now, it wants to burn. It wants to grow. We have to give it more fuel so that way it grows. Yes, Angel, we definitely need to make sure your absentee ballots request forms to your county to get your absentee ballot. You can't see. I got my nice little alert thing going on. This is a new program. I think it's great. So again, we're going to cut this short. Again, I know I'm only supposed to do these videos on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. However, yesterday's video was deleted for unknown reasons. We haven't gotten a response back from Facebook. I would love to know why, because if I did violate something, they probably got offended by the American flag that's behind me. That's probably why they deleted it, but they have not deleted my other videos, which is why we are streaming this live on my Facebook personal page and my YouTube page. So that way, if Facebook does, in fact, take down this post once more, we can just bombard them with every day, all day long, until they give up and they'll let this video stay. Some people are saying hi to you.
Hi. Everyone's saying.
But yes, so again, if you have any questions, we'll be back tomorrow with a new whole agenda. We'll have some things we're going to talk about. One of the biggest things we're definitely going to talk about is how this is going to affect inflation. Because we all know we don't want to go back to, I want to say it was 2004, 2005, where milk was like $5 a gallon, where gas was up to $3 a gallon. It was ridiculous. We don't want that to happen. We want to make sure American dollar stays the value that it's at. We don't want it to diminish at all.
One time when I was getting gas, my mom was getting gas. There's a gas, 1 gallon costs $1.10.
Yes, right now, because it's amazing right now. It is ridiculous. I use my Get-Go perks. I paid $1.04 for gas. I don't think I've ever filled my gas tank in over 2 decades, and it cost a total of less than $20. It was amazing. So again, if there was any problems with this video, please shoot me a private message. Let me know. This is a new program. If it doesn't work well, we will definitely revert to the other one and we'll find a new one. So please give me your feedback on it, on how it went with the clicks of the buttons, with the screens, how that all worked. If what I'm saying is in sync with my lips talking, please let me know. Again, I will see you guys on tomorrow at 7:30. We'll talk about a bunch of serious issues. Again, have a great day. Thank you all for watching, and God bless you, and God bless America.